Light is what you make of it. For light to work its magic, you need to understand it, to find it, to see it, and above all, to choose a moment when it can truly shine. Hi, I'm Erin Babnik, landscape photographer and Canon explorer of light. Speaking of light, that's exactly what we're taking a closer look at today. Light is the most essential ingredient in any photograph, yet with natural light outdoors, you don't get to control it. You can learn to make the most of it though. Crucially important is knowing how the time of day and year will affect light outdoors. The sun and the moon are always moving, and their positions in the sky will change the strength, the angle, and the color of light in the scene. For example, a high sun is most powerful, and therefore has the potential to make light appear very harsh and overly contrasty. But when the sun has a low altitude, its light passes through a longer swath of atmosphere, and all of the particulate matter in its path acts as a filter that removes more blue from the spectrum and softens the light's intensity. Consequently, colors then appear warmer and more vibrant, which is why we often hear the term golden hour used to describe each end of the day. The flattering qualities of golden hour light tend to make it very desirable for photography. At the same time, the lateral axis of the sun, called the azimuth, affects how shadows appear. As you pan your camera laterally across a landscape, you'll find three basic directions of light. Backlight, when features are lit from behind, side light, with more balanced shadows, and front light, when features are getting full frontal illumination. Side light is generally the easiest direction of light to photograph, and its even play of shadows allows terrain to appear more three-dimensional in an image. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, there's the formula. Low sun, off to my side, got it. Not so fast. There's a lot more to mastering light than photographing everything so that it's side lit at golden hour. Backlight and front light also have the potential to be highly photogenic in the right situations. For example, backlight gives you the option of creating sunstars that add a striking twinkle of light in the frame, often in combination with interesting silhouettes and long shadows that make great leading lines. It's also backlight that gives you the option to photograph sun rays. Backlight can show off translucent features such as flowers, and it can dramatically illuminate airborne particles of dust or mist. Backlight is great for emphasizing these things, and it can make the edges of features really pop. Which brings us to the last option of front light. Front light minimizes shadows. So this is the one direction of light that photographers are most likely to avoid. It does have its moments though. For example, if you want to photograph the full arc of a rainbow, then front light is your friend. A rainbow's center will always be directly opposite the sun, which means everything near the center of the arc is going to be front lit. Another workable scenario for front light is when scattered clouds darken areas of a scene, in which case it may be possible to find spotlit features that stand out in a bold and graphic fashion. So the sun's location is crucially important, but atmospheric conditions can change the game completely. Clouds, mist, and precipitation all influence light just like modifiers can in a studio, even having the power to make light-challenged locations suddenly photogenic. For example, the world is full of interesting natural features that, because of their situation, only ever receive light when the sun is high enough to clear prominent terrain. If light from a high sun is your only option in a location, you might be tempted to give up on it. But sometimes timing for atmosphere solves that problem. In these situations, try to catch a thin veil of atmospheric diffusion, such as the edge of a passing cloud, which can take enough power out of the sun to make an area photogenic even in the middle of the day. Very dense cloud cover will make light more flat, and flat light can be lackluster in a lot of scenarios. But special opportunities can come out of these conditions too. If you see any texture in thick cloud cover, there are probably some openings up there, and you might get lucky enough to see sun rays shine through them, so definitely keep an eye open for that possibility. Very soft light can also be great for showing off areas with a lot of color in them because You won't have any of the color getting lost in high contrast. Clouds can also reflect and bounce light. High clouds are the ones most likely to light up with color, and this happens when the sun has a clear path about 100 miles away from where it can shine underneath a cloud layer at sunrise or sunset. The reddest skies tend to occur in these situations. There is one more crucial variable with light, and that is how you frame it in your composition. It's not enough just to have good light. How much of it you include in your image and where it strikes matters. The eye is attracted to light, so pay attention to which parts of your frame are lit. If light draws the eye to the least interesting part of a scene, then you may need to wait for a better moment, or you may need to recompose, relocate, or else pivot to using a different direction of light. Whatever you do, the key is to make light, atmosphere, and composition all work together. These tips are part of the essential foundation for mastering light outdoors, and you can take them a lot further with the many apps and resources that are available to help with planning for light and weather. Above all, it helps to remember that natural light is fleeting and frequently unpredictable. Luck plays a large role outdoors, but your odds of success will improve with a keen understanding of light and a willingness to keep your eyes and feet moving and your mind wide open.